Hey guys, it's me again. So, for this evening's video, my wife is actually busy getting her nails done. We're going to a wedding this weekend, and she asked me to cover for tonight. So, let's see what I can do. So, for those who maybe watched the previous video I did, say a few weeks ago, I don't really remember the exact timeline, we'll remember what we talked about. And for those who haven't seen that video, let me give you a refresher. We talked about Pokemon cards. So last time we talked about some collecting, showing off my big rare hits, among other things. I kind of honestly just showed off every card I have inside of my 3 books. But today's going to be a little different. First off, for clever-eyed viewers, you're going to notice I got some empty pages now in some of my some of the book. I've actually did a little bit of trading over not last weekend but the weekend before last. And I want to talk about that a little bit, along with also what I'd call a starter guide. Something that I think is super useful for maybe you saw the last video or you see Pokemon cards blowing up everywhere. And you're like, how do I start? What should I do? Is there a right way to do it, a wrong way? And that's kind of what we're going to dive into. So this guy's going to go away because we don't need to see him anymore. Heck, it's actually outdated a little bit because I realized in showing in that video, I have nothing from the modern era in there, nothing from the Scarlet and Violet drops, meaning that they're somewhere in like the shuffle of the move that I did, and I don't know where they are. They're all sleeved somewhere. I'm gonna find them, but at least as of now for this video, they're not here with me. Maybe that'll be for another one. We'll show off all my big Scarlet and Violet hits. However, I wanted to do a fun update. So last time, I talked about a set I really liked in the Scarlet and Violet era. It's probably currently my favorite in terms of how much I've really collected it. And that is our friend, Twilight Masquerade. This is an ETB I opened up a very long time ago, maybe I think around Christmas last year. My wife so graciously got it for me as part of Christmas or my birthday. I think it was Christmas. Yeah. And so this actually dives into an opening topic, the ETB. What is the purpose of this? Heck, nowadays you can't even find these suckers in stores. You're going to notice also when we crack this open, it's actually pretty empty. I've already opened up and dissected all the packs out of here, but I'll talk a little bit about what comes in them because it comes into a great starter guide piece for collecting. Is one, what's a product to start with? If you're someone who has never opened up a pack and or wants to say get back into it, maybe you collected back in the 90s with the Gen 1 or 2 sets, or maybe you're someone who was a Gen 4, Sinnoh, Ruby Sapphire, Heart Gold Soul Silver collector, and you're like, ooh, I want to get back into it. You could be building into the hype. Maybe you've heard your friends, or people around you are like, oh, that 151 set, that's out there. I want to collect that. Well, what's cool about this is that this is a great way to just get a ton of cards to look at. You're not guaranteed anything good, and when it comes to the Scarlet and Violet era, the best part is you're always guaranteed a holofoil rare, with 2 different shots of getting something a little bit better than that if it is in reverse holo. And another thing, they updated, so the ETBs for this era of the game are actually a little bit more expensive than they were for the previous, which was the Sword and Shield era. So stuff like Silver Tempest, Lost Origin, the base set of Sword and Shield. But there's a few more packs, if I remember correctly, and every set comes with a promo card. So this is the Ogre Pawn, the Teal Mask Ogre Pawn specifically, promo card. This card is already in the set, just not like this. It's a very basic variation of it instead. This is just a fun bonus for getting the box. Obviously, if you want more of this particular iteration of its art, you got to buy more ETBs and stuff like that. I guess there's a free code if I already didn't use it. But you get stuff like, these are deck dividers. This is a great tool for storing a bunch of cards. You get a big sleeve of energy, so you never run out. You get some tokens for the actual game, which includes, damage dice and the, I believe this is the burn and the poison status. But it's a little box that gives you enough to start. To be fair, you're not making a beginner deck out of an ETB. This is more of, say, it's like a booster pack. It's like a booster box, not like the actual booster box, which has the, 30 to 40, whatever, mini packs. This is more of a, oh, I want to get a taste of a set. Get an ETB. Obviously, in the modern era, which this video is being filmed with, Black Bolt and White Flare are still the most recent sets to come out, and ETBs are ridiculously hard to find. And if you do find one, if it's not at retail when the store opens, it's at a local mom and pop shop, which is either selling it for slightly above MSRP, or they're selling it at a ridiculously upscaled scalper price. Obviously, do your due diligence if you ever see these in the wild, at a local shop, at a store. If it's not like a Walmart or a Target or something like that, be careful how much you pay. Always look at the price they're asking for. Double check what it's on online. I guarantee you it's going to be cheaper a lot of times when you look at that online price, and stuff like that. But there's a reason I bring up Twilight Masquerade. I'll tell you right now, Twilight Masquerade is not a good starter set to collect. If you're someone who doesn't want to play the game, don't touch this set. If you want to play the game, there's actually a lot of good cards in here. The Dragapult EX, something I actually don't have, is featured in here, among a lot of other really cool cards. But this comes into the collection aspect, and I'm going to talk about collecting this set, and then I'm going to talk about, I have 2 more ETBs on the side, along with another more recently released set to talk about, in terms of a place to start and kind of how it looks in the flesh. So Twilight Masquerade is my favorite current set. There's a lot of really good cards in it, both from a playable aspect and also just from an art aspect. I'm a big fan of the art. It's based on the Teal Mask DLC of Scarlet and Violet, which I really enjoyed. Ogerpon, the legendary featured here, is one of my favorite new ones. It's cute. It has 4 different forms. This is the Teal Mask one that's on this box right here. I'll show it to you again. This is a big part of collecting, is that a lot of the newer sets, a lot of collectors latch on to what I call one card. There's a Big Daddy card, a Big Dog card, right? In reality, this set has has a Mount Rushmore, right? Instead of a big 3, it's a Mount Rushmore. 4 really, really expensive cards. Well, in my trading, I have 2 of them. The 2 most expensive, in fact. However, you're asking what even inspired me to start trading some of my stuff. I didn't show y'all, but this included some of those shiny Charizard cards featured in the last time I did a video here. Well, as y'all maybe know, my wife and I went to Miami a week ago, I should say, from the time we're filming this. And on the way out, we found this little anime store, and my sister and my wife walked in, and she ended up buying me a Journey Together themed box. It was the Iono's Bellybolt EX collection box. It comes with a really cool acrylic stand thing, a bunch of packs, and some promo cards. Well, one of those packs was Twilight Masquerade. I had this or an option for Prismatic Evolutions, a set we'll talk about shortly, but I want Twilight Masquerade packs. This has some big cards in it, and if you can pull them without spending money outside of buying the pack, you're golden. Well, as you already can tell, I've already opened this. I haven't actually sleeved the specialty card that's in here, because I wanted to show y'all. So, oh yeah, we have Sandy Gas, we have Dreepy, Feebas, Girafarig, Sandslash, Lucian, Darmanitan, Swanna, and then this. This here is the special illustration Hisuian Growlithe. You're going to notice in this art right away, one, this looks so much different compared to, say, our pal Sandygast here. It's night and day. This art is great. It's a fun little crochet creature, but look how pretty this is. It shines really nice. You also notice some legs there. We'll talk about that in a minute. And also, I'll show you, I got Infernape after. I already have the special art of the Infernape, but that's cool. Getting this card was almost like a shot of adrenaline. I said, no way. I pulled 1/2 of my Secret Chase card, and I told myself, oh my lord, I have to find this other card. Well, I have a local card shop, which I absolutely will gatekeep, and I will never tell you where it's at, because it's my business. But I had decided I wanted to go through my binder and trade some stuff. Big tip with trading is that TCG Player is the best resource for prices for most things. If it's a little more obscure, eBay might be a little bit better, but normally TCG Player has at least somewhat of a up and down graph structure on pricing, unless something's being forcibly inflated by someone who wants a card they waste a lot of money on to be more expensive because, oh, there's this weird demand suddenly for this thing that really isn't worth what people think it is. This is also a children's card game, and really it's crazy that these cards go for such a price. But to be fair, you know, we all have problems, right? This is my vice in life is a cardboard, and I don't care. But it inspired me to start kind of trading out some cards I don't care about. I've collected for a very long time. The more modern stuff I've collected, right, was more odds and ends I found in different packs I bought from Walmarts and Targets. And I gave up a lot of stuff. I had some mega cards from Evolutions I didn't care about. Those shiny Charizards were for a rainy day, if I could trade them for what I wanted. Heck, the card guy even had that stupid Rainbow Charizard I'm looking for Burning Shadows, and he wouldn't trade anything I offered him. So maybe I gotta pull something he wants. He wanted one thing I had, but I needed it for something else. So I'm gonna show some stuff here. So, over here I have some additional pulls. I keep knocking this thing, making it jiggle. My fault. So these are the only two cards you're going to see with a price tag on them. And these were traded for later on. I had this $40 Piplup card, Dawn's Piplup. I don't care about that card, and I willingly decided to trade up for something. So this is two of the bigger cards in this set, but it's not the big four, right? So this is Lana's Aid. This was $24. I paid nothing because I traded for it. And I traded for it in a bundle with this Ursaluna Blood Moon Secret Rare. This is a gold variant. A lot of the modern sets have 1 to 2, sometimes even 3 or 4 gold cards. This is just a golden variant of the full art version of the card, which I don't have. But getting these together for this price, and I think I got an extra Twilight Masquerade pack out of it. Dude, I couldn't say no. I didn't get anything good out of that pack. But either way, these are two cards I need. As you can see, these price tags are pretty big, and this is not a set I can just walk into Target and find, right? Well, the main reason I went into that store was for this. This here, I'll get as close to the camera as I can. This is the Perrin Secret Art Rare, or SAR as it's called, or SAR. I have one Secret Illustration Rare and their Secret Art Rare. This Perrin goes with the Growlithe we saw. She's standing over. It's really hard to tell in frame. You might be able to see it a little bit. The Growlithe is inside the camera frame. She's taking a picture of it. I loved the dynamic of this card. It even makes me like Growlithe more. And I don't like Growlithe that much, but it made me really appreciate Hisuian Growlithe, the newer variant that came with the Legends game. And I was like, dude, I gotta get this card. Look how freaking pretty it is. You know what I mean? The art is gorgeous. It's this very special looking card. This card goes for a lot of money. It is the second most expensive card, right? Again, didn't pay a dime for it. I traded for it. This was the only trade I wanted to do that day. However, it's not the only one I did. This was my big haul for the day, and I ended up realizing I didn't know I was going to be walking out with a card bigger than this. So I named 4 cards that are big. I've named one of them, which is this one. The Perrin is the second most expensive card in this set. I don't have the 2 lessers, which I will tell you the price of, just for your own context, for your brain to understand it. There is the Carmen SAR, right? That card goes for about $69. And then there is an Eevee special art rare. It's just a random Eevee card, and it's about $50, right? So, just from hearing that, obviously this is more than probably $70, right? You can look it up yourself and see how much this is and how good of a trade I had to do. However, I ended up, on the way out, I referenced trading my 2 Charizards. Those 2 Charizards equaled just about the amount for this card. This is the #1 most expensive card for this set. The Greninja SIR, or SAR, right? EX Special Illustration. You see the special illustration right there. This is the biggest card. It's a PSA card as well. This card was graded. This is a 9. One of the best things you can get for it. This card, as a PSA 9, costs just as much as if it wasn't PSA graded. There's a few reasons I opted to actually get this card in this particular fashion. One is they didn't have any more. There wasn't even a 10, which a 10 is dang near double the price of this almost, I think, from a quick look I did. But being a 9, there's a market for it no matter what. It's about the price of a loose, but this will always get higher if I ever have a rainy day, right? And I want to collect the whole Twilight Masquerade set, and this is the most difficult card to pull. This card goes for a lot of money, and I traded 2 of the biggest cards in my binder to get it. But another reason you're going to notice, like with the Perrin, obviously it does have this protector on it, but not dolled up like this in the PSA sleeve with the plastic container. The reason I was very willing to let the card chill like this, okay, is for one reason. If you notice any imperfections, that's actually the plastic that surrounds this, because I haven't taken it out of it. Actually, I'll tell you, does it even say what it doesn't say its qualifications on why it got the grade it did. I can look that up later and maybe share that another time. But I don't mind having the most expensive card in this set be sealed away. It doesn't even have to chill in the theoretical binder I plan on buying for this set someday. To get every card in there. This can sit alone, not in the binder. If I ever pull another one, sure, I'll slide that one in. But this guy is a gem, and I'm super glad I found it. It was worth everything I traded for, because this would have been my roadblock that stopped me from finishing the set. Even in Japanese, I think it's pretty expensive, and even though I don't mind collecting Japanese cards, it would have just been a footnote till the English one was in my hands. And it's weird because English is always more expensive most of the time than Japanese under most circumstances. I don't know why, it's just how it is. But yeah, I pulled the 2 biggest cards in the set, or I traded for them, and I'm not angry about it. I didn't care about a lot of the cards I traded out. I wasn't fully collecting a lot of those sets anyway, and it was just easier to do that. So we'll slide our friends here a little bit up. And I want to talk about one more topic, just one more, before I let y'all go for the evening, to end off this Monday evening, is where do you start? Starting is the most difficult thing in collecting, because you never know where to go, and in my opinion, it's hard to listen to some rando online tell you that you should be buying this set. Let's ask this question first. What are you buying it for? Are you buying it to collect because your friends are doing it, or people around you in your sphere are doing it? Do you want to build the hype and you're looking to maybe make a quick buck? Something I'll warn, even though you're going to see a lot of... heck, even these cards I showed you earlier are worth a lot of money. Most of these cards never hold their hype, right? Something that is very evident actually comes with this set, which is something I want to talk about. Surging Sparks. Here are some booster bundle packs, 6 each. Me and my wife opened some recently. We got paid, we said we've earned this, and we happened to catch a card drop at our local GameStop. Surging Sparks was a very overhyped set because of this guy. Pikachu is a safe bet for a lot of collectors, especially the EX variants, these special, super good versions, we'll call them. Okay, and there is just like this Greninja, there is an SIR of the Pikachu. And it's this really pretty art. Pikachu's looking back while it has the Stellar Terra crown like it does in this art here. I'll even lift it up so you can see it a little bit better. That card, when it came out, was going for $1,000+. But this set has been overproduced so much that is now a $250-something card. Raw, right? I don't know how much it is PSA graded, and frankly, I don't care, because if I ever get it, I get it, but I don't know if I'd ever keep it. But I reference Surging Sparks because I actually think Surging Sparks isn't a bad beginner set. If you can find it, of course. Luckily, you can buy individuals, and these booster bundles at a GameStop were about $30 to $40. You're getting 6 packs, and that's a lot of, value in it, versus an ETB, which I have some ETBs next to me to talk about another set and an idea. Surging Sparks, I think, is a decent beginner set to get into, especially if you just want to crack some packs open. There's some hype with Pikachu, Latias. Actually, all 4 of these cards have a specialty at rare in this that I'm pretty sure all go for over 20. Latias and Pikachu in particular are some of the most expensive, actually the 2 most expensive cards in the set, for context. Right? But Archaludon and the Alolan Executor both have great cards too. There's a lot of good arts in this set. There's a lot of good arts. There's a lot of fun pulls. I don't know how good it is on a competitive basis, but man, is it a good set. And it's something that constantly keeps getting restocked because they want to make sure people have it. Unlike another set. A set I don't have to show you, but I showed you in the last video, is something called Prismatic Evolutions. It's one of the few ETBs from this era I don't have. Actually, the last ETB I'm pretty sure I got was the Surging Sparks one, believe it or not, a few months ago. It is a Eevee set. It's a set that is just a bunch of reproduced promos and stuff like that with big flashy Eevee cards. Not a great set to collect because it's just full of hype beast cards and most people just over scalp it, right? Heck, the special rare Umbreon card, which is exclusive to this set, is a over $1,000 card even now, because getting product for it is nearly impossible, unless you're camping outside of a store that knows it's getting it, which is very random. Local card shops are a little nicer, but to be fair though, it's still a very expensive set because people are still overhyping it, so be warned. I think Surging Sparks is super safe because, yes, there is a big Pikachu card, but also there's so many more fun arts in here. There's a great Ceruledge art. Again, there's a Archaludon in this set I'm a really big fan of. There's a lot of good stuff. There's a Latios and a Latias. Actually, Latios is in the art too, if we want to, peek at that really quick. There's a lot of good stuff. I think Surging Sparks is a fun beginner set. If you just want to crack some packs open, right? I would have loved to tell you that, oh, you can get into the Scarlet and Violet base set, or even, 151, but the Scarlet and Violet base set isn't produced like that anymore, and 151 is a regular, collector's nightmare because of scalping. It is a bad set to collect, and also, no offense in my opinion, not a lot of good pulls. Don't care if there's a Charizard card in there. It's not that good, in my personal opinion, but also, I'm just biased, okay? I've been there since the beginning. I'm tired of seeing the Gen 1 Pokemon, and a set like that just irks me. But Surging Sparks, fun beginner set. Again, there's one fun, really big card, but there's a lot of cool stuff to find. Something I wanted to show, though, was a more proper ETB. This is of Temporal Forces. This came out last year. It is the second set that specializes in the Paradox Pokemon introduced in Scarlet and Violet. The headliners for this are Iron Leaves, this one, and Walking Wake, this one. These were introduced via a Terra Raid event online, and they were found before their alternative brethren, which was Gouging Fire, Raging Bolt, Iron Crown, and Iron Boulder. This is how an ETB looks. I would have shown y'all the other ones like this, but this shows everything. You get a bunch of packs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it was 9, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, yeah. 9 packs. You get the damage dice. You get everything. And, of course, you get a fun promo card. Right, this is the Iron Thorns one. This is a pretty sick card. You'll notice I very rarely take them out of their little sleeves because I like them. This is a case where this is the same set, but the ETB has a different representative on it, as you can see here, and also has a different promo card. This is the Fluttermane promo card. You can barely see it right there. It torched up a little bit of like a little forest area, and it's just leaving. I love ETBs. They're really hard to come across these days now just because of how expensive they are. But again, if you want the 9 packs, and these are just the standard ones. There are better ones they release through the Pokemon Center website that you're never going to be able to get. But there are so many just, fun cards, and you get to open up, a full set. I think this one actually has, this has a Gouging Fire at the end. That's one of the new Paradox Pokemon for this game. But it's great because, in my opinion, this is a fun set to collect, but unfortunately you can't find it anymore. If you ever do find this set, though, I think it's actually fairly collector-friendly. There's maybe 3 to 5 cards that are really big, but if you can find this in the wild, do it. I mean, heck, I don't even remember what I pulled from these. I literally have not sleeved these. Like, I've been very slacking in the sleeving, but I know that I got something here. Oh, yeah, I got the Full Art Iron Crown. That's pretty cool. Obviously, a lot of the modern sets, the biggest pulls are the secret illustration rares like you've seen with the Greninja, and I've referenced with stuff like that Umbreon card we talked about earlier. But, yeah, I personally think, if you can get your hands on an ETB of any set, if you've never opened up cards before, if this is for some reason, which I'm sorry if this is, your introduction to the trading card game, dang, I'm sorry, it's got to be me. But I recommend just finding anything. But if you really want to pinpoint something that's going to be overproduced, like crazy, Surging Sparks is the way to go, in my opinion. In my opinion. And hey, if anything, if you're someone watching this video now, or just, I guess, getting to the end and finishing it, let me know if you've been collecting, if you have any cards in your collection. And if you have been, what's your favorite set? What's your best pull? This Greninja is not my most expensive pull, but it's one of my favorites. Same with this Perrin. I wouldn't have traded if I didn't like the card a lot. Or if you plan on collecting, what's something you want to look for? Is there a set maybe that you're being told is something to look out for and you should get? Or your friends are pushing you on something? Or you just keep catching videos on your favorite social media platform that has them? I don't know. Let us know in the comments. And, my wife, Krispy, will tell me everything about him if, we get comments, which is cool. Either way, this is all I have for this Krispy video today. I appreciate y'all sitting with me, rambling and talking about, again, a passion of mine. I love it. If I'm asked to do this again, I don't know if cards will be the topic unless I find a lot of polls on our little wedding, on the wedding we're visiting at the end of the week. So who knows? Maybe we'll have some stuff to show the next time I'm invited on. Until then, though, I appreciate y'all for watching as always. It's a blessing. Continue to subscribe, comment, like, all the good stuff. And don't forget to keep it crispy. Bye!